So as mentioned in my last video, we are getting a whole bunch of T'Au stuff, and it is good for us to know where we can get them and the prices. So in this video, I'm just going to break down a few of my thoughts and of course some of the pricing that we're currently seeing all together. So the three main sites you can basically get these on right now include Locker Toys, which is this first set of photos. You can see the price in there, but I'll show you guys in greater detail each one. Following that, we are also seeing Big Bad Toy Store, but we are seeing something very, very interesting here. We're not seeing a huge price difference in between Locker Toys and basically Big Bad Toy Store. So that is something to note, as you know, we have seen some price differences before, but they don't seem to be as much. So here we have Locker Toys. Oh, and we also are talking about AliExpress here, but I'll show you guys that in a second. So here we have Commander Shadow Sun at $67. This is the cheapest you can get it basically from Locker Toys. And the BBTS version of Commander Shadow Sun is only about $8 more. So not a big difference, but enough for you to probably want to purchase in the other direction. I think you should. And then AliExpress, of course, is another option that we get here. And as you can see, only $5 less. So really cuts the difference between both of them. You can obviously buy from whoever it is that you want and whoever is going to give you the better price. But this is definitely something to consider in terms of what you want to do, especially if you're getting multiple. Now, switching over to the Crisis Battle Suits. So again, we have Locker Toys, $67.32. As you can see, basically, I don't know if you want to call this a discount. I really don't think it's much, it's necessarily a discount, as it is the price that they want to put it at. And then they show us what we get, obviously. And then here we have Big Bad Toy Store. So for both of the Crisis Battle Suits, $76. So as you can tell, not too big of a difference, about $8 again, which is still a pretty good price, I think, altogether. So, you know, something's going on here with pricing and how aggressive they're getting. And then of course we have the battle suit here, only $4 difference off AliExpress. Now obviously there's other deals that you can get that give you a little bit of potentially more of a change, so that's something to note. BBTS doesn't usually have that. You're paying full price. Now here is my problem, but let me explain pricing real fast. So starting off, we have the Fire Warriors from Locker Toys at $105, and you have to buy all four of them together in a pack. Switching over to Big Bad Toy Store, it's $109.99. It's only a $5 difference, basically $1.25 less if you go through someone like Locker Toys. Very, very interesting pricing. And then $106 on AliExpress. I should probably mention this is all through the Alina Toy Store on AliExpress. Again, very interesting. This is literally only, what, 75 cents difference between these four figures? Now, if you do the math, all these figures are basically about $25 a piece, regardless of where you buy it from. I think that pricing is good. I think that pricing is actually great, considering that if you look at the pricing before, even on Locker Toys, which had them, I think, for the cheapest at about $30 a piece, you're looking at roughly a $4 to $5 discount from before per unit. And then if you're looking at BBTS, it's even a much starker difference, because they were selling their Krieg soldiers at $40 a piece, and now that they've gotten these new ones, we're now seeing obviously a stark change in pricing here by more than $10 a unit. That's insane. It's even cheaper than the Krieg soldiers from Locker Toys. So I think that that's obviously an awesome thing. I think that this means that, you know, I think maybe BBTS understood, hey, our pricing might have been a little too aggressive with the Krieg and they didn't sell how we wanted to. But on top of that, it would seem that even Joytoy was like, maybe our pricing is still too aggressive and we should try to lighten it in the slightest bit possible. I like that. I think that they're getting the message through that, again, these need to be inexpensive figures that can get new Joytoy, you know, hobbyists into the hobby, or, you know, to change Warhammer hobbyists into the Joytoy fray. And that's really the main, this is why I keep stressing these figures like the T'Au soldiers, like the Krieg, like hopefully the future Cadian soldiers, the ones that you can buy multiple of, right? The ones that you can army build. It's very important to have these. But I think that this is a double-edged sword. So I think what happened with the Krieg was they realized that, hey, people didn't buy all of them. We basically bought 3 or 4 of the same ones, and there's some that didn't move at all, like potentially the medic or the demolition guy. I'm sure that there are some certain Krieg soldiers that didn't move at all. So that's something to take in consideration. What I think is a big thing that we got to deal with here, though, is that they've basically forced you to get all 4 of them together, and I think that that's a little bit of a mistake. Yes, it's cool because you're getting them at a cheap price, so you might as well get all 4 of them, but now what basically should have been a $30 entry into Joytoy as a brand has now turned into a $100 minimum investment into the brand, and I think that that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. Maybe not for somebody like you and me, right? We've been a part of this. We've been watching this. This is what we want. If these are scaled right, they're priced right, they're articulated well, most of this is already a positive for us. So for us to buy all 4 of them, to spend over $100, not a big investment for us because this is what we've been asking for. But for a lot of the mainstream people that are looking for that for Joytoy or for Warhammer, again, this is kind of a hard pill to swallow because you're buying all 4 of them at, again, $100 investment compared to a $30 investment. That's something that actually brought me back into Joytoy, because I originally bought a set from Joytoy back in the day when you still had to put them together, and it was a $100 investment, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't impressed. I didn't really like them all that much. I played with them for a little bit and then just forgot about them. It wasn't until I started seeing soldiers that you could buy, again, for $30 a piece, shipped, that basically gave me a reason to get into Joytoy and enjoy the figure, because I was like, okay, cool, $30. Worst case scenario, I don't like it, maybe I resell it. I've done that a few times already with Joytoy products, but again, buying an entire set and not liking them, kind of like the same way I felt with the very first set that we got from the Warhammer Joytoy stuff. It kind of sucks to buy all that and then go, damn, I really didn't like this, and I'm in the hole $100, $200, whatever you might have basically put down on these figures. So that's why for me, I think Commander Shadowsun and the Crisis Battlesuits, no problem. You can buy them all separately. I think that's the right way to do it. And the singular pricing of the individual fire warriors is great, but grouping them all 4 together, again, is going to alienate half of the people that aren't sure if they want to get into it to begin with. And then, of course, for us that do want it, not a problem. We'll jump into it. They're great looking figures. I for sure am going to pre-order, but I know that there's plenty of people that are now going to wait till they see a review before they make that call. Alright guys, so those are my thoughts right now on the current pricing of the T'Au Fire Warrior, just the T'Au stuff in general. I think they're priced incredibly well, they're not very expensive, and it's very weird to see that BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, is now selling them almost to the same dollar as their competitors. So that's something that's very interesting and could potentially cause other pricing to come down to a place that might make Big Bad Toy Store the place to get them. But again, I do think it's a bit of a double-edged sword to put all 4 of them together, or for the T'Au Fire Warriors, because again, they should be single infantry units that people buy into and are able to get multiple of them over time, not necessarily have to commit to 4 or $100 price tag up front. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, stay within the trial mob, and of course I will see you guys on the next feature. And again, let me know what you guys think as to my theory on what's happening right now with the Joytoy world.